Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Outpost Admin Stories. To wrap up the series, to put the cornucopia, the little cherry on top, I thought it would have been how I became an ableist. I thought that was the peak of all, stories that we had, and through searching and some other means, I ended up running back to one of the oldest stories that was the most dangerous is probably the best way to explain it because it actually affected people's lives. And, you know, to be honest, the how I became an ableist and all that, that story was just a bunch of ramblings. I didn't like it when I put it out, but it's okay. I still went through with it. And it got me to thinking of, some of the people that actually did cause harm or tried to cause harm and how they perceived themselves as in the right. So during the 2013 and 2015 prime meme real estate, where everything was super edgy and it was okay to be offensive, it was where comedy was seen as, that outlook to say whatever you want and, be free of criticism. There's a certain thing that people do where they say something enough where they start to actually believe it and it becomes their personality, it becomes what they are all about. And to be honest, that is kind of fucking stupid. Because if you're making a joke about being a raging racist or child porn, you know, you shouldn't actually enact on them. There's a tasteful way to make a joke like that without doing it. However, the individual in this story had a really big roller coaster of ups and downs of what was funny and what wasn't funny and what he was willing to do to get a laugh at some people. Let me tell you the story about Operation Red Hearts. Now, the problem with Operation Red Hearts is there's a ton of backstory. There's lore fucking out the ass for this story. So trying to put it into a small video is going to be hard. So this video might run a little long. If you stick with me, I appreciate your patience, and hopefully I can entertain you with it. So Raspberry was a regular dank memer that was on the Outpost jailbreak server. Yeah, I said dank memer. Look at me, I'm fucking old, and I get to say cool words that string together. You should hit that like button right there. But Raspberry had a broad sense of humor, like a lot of us on the Outpost servers during the 2013 to 2015 era. And Raspberry was kind of the first person to take it too far. So with the Outpost, we had a rule where if you were banned multiple times in a small period or X amount of times of the same reason, you were never going to change and you were just there to bring the server down. And it was kind of a okay rule. It kept fresh people in the server and it got rid of some undesirables, but it did kind of put unneeded pressure on certain users. And to be honest, I could understand why Raspberry went off the rails. I just don't really know why we stopped where we were. So Raspberry was a regular jailbreak player who unfortunately had acquired some bans for stupid things like, oh, free killed, oh, didn't listen to rules, oh, it wasn't big. Everything he did was very minor infractions that unfortunately came with a ban after certain things. Free killing is a thing that will happen. And the fact that we kept banning for it instead of, letting people make restitution for it was kind of a shitty thing. But whatever. I ain't here to explain the rules or anything like that. I'm just here to tell you about Raspberry. So after acquiring his second ban, he was really afraid about being permabanned because, he's like, I just keep making mistakes, or, there's certain admins who dislike me, or, and I asked him, I was like, what are you trying to get at here? And he's like, look, I'm kind of being shit on the servers. People are kind of picking at me and putting a negative light in my name because I've had multiple bans before. And unfortunately, it's not really making it fun to play the server. I felt that. I understood, but there's nothing really I could do. I wasn't, one of the higher ranking admins at the time. I was just a regular old server admin. I was like, well, just try keeping your nose clean, man. If you need to talk about something or you need me to take you back on something, I got you. So, Raspberry went about his day, and to be honest, he never caught that third ban. But there was a random stigma. It was also the beginning of the salt mines. So there was this weird mood that was set upon the servers. And I did see some people disrespect Raspberry, but oh well, we make jokes back and forth, so I kind of just chalked up to like we memeing and just mute the people that bothered you. But Raspberry, it was getting to him. The stress was definitely wearing on his head, and it surprised me honestly because I didn't take it seriously. I didn't really know what to do, and then I came upon the forum post. So we were having a simple discussion about new LRs and game mode tweaks for jailbreak, and Raspberry gave his input, and someone said we don't really need, or someone we shouldn't take your opinion into account since you've had multiple bans. He said my bans have nothing to do with my opinion, and the person said your opinion is really bad anyway. You probably don't believe the Holocaust is real. And Raspberry, for whatever reason, again, different time, 2013, 2015, just fucking pulled up, opened the floodgates. And 9 pages, 9 posts later, I'm talking fucking 1,000 word essays in each post of how the Holocaust isn't real with pictures and screenshots and all this. Now, needless to say, the Holocaust happened. So, Raspberry was banned. He was banned for anti-Semitic rhetoric and just general, racism, classism, whatever want to throw in there. There was a label for it. But we had Manny, leader of Salt Mines at that time, and he is of the Jewish descent, so he immediately put a permanent ban on it. He said that's done, and nobody argued with him. Nobody argued with him at all. In fact, that was fine. you know, Raspberry did what he did, and to be honest, yeah, the mindset that was being pushed and the way people were reacting to him was kind of shitty, but it happened. And so, a couple months go by. The salt mines have now been fully established, and some of us, how do I put this? We still had contact with Raspberry. Some of us didn't have contact with him. Honestly, it went dormant for a couple months until me and Vexel. I'm gonna keep posting some shit, mainly about how fucking anime games lie to you and how they suck. If I get a story pop in my head because I've hit all mostly the major big ones, I'll definitely upload a video of it. But if you enjoyed the video, I thank you, and I'm glad I entertained you. I'll see you guys in the next one. The salt mines are cancer on the outpost. I just want to have fun. So I said, watch, I'm going to unban him. So I unbanned Raspberry, pulled him into the Mumble channel. And it took less than a millisecond of him joining the channel for Manny to jump in and say, what the fuck? Why is he here? And unban. And, like I said, the salt mines have been wearing on me, so these were my small ways of rebelling against them. And I said, listen, we're playing Smite. He's not on the servers. The Mumble server is different than the Outpost servers. I was like, we're letting him on here. I'll keep him aligned. You guys don't have to interact with each other, and I'm not going to let him just post whatever he wants, okay? And Manny was not happy about it. And I said, well, too bad, Manny. Sorry. If something happens, I'll take full blame for it. Little did I know that it wouldn't be Manny. It wouldn't be Manny that Raspberry went after. We made this old copy pasta relates to the Avatar of the Last Airbender. It's like long ago in the Outpost server, everything was peaceful and full of dank memes, and that's when the salt mines attacked. And I shit you not, I can't remember who wrote this. I think it was Razzle actually who wrote this. It was funny as hell, and he's like, for years for months the salt mines reigned over the Outpost servers until two dank memesters found the original dank memer encased on Smite and unleashed him upon the world. He'll bring dank memes back to the Outpost. To be honest, it's probably written a little different than that. It was really fucking funny. And like I said, we were kind of getting back at the salt mines for what we could. But time went on, and Razzle became a regular person, playing on whatever. And little did I know that there was a whole nother problem brewing. One of my other co-officers that was, very prominent on the servers, Epis. He was the coder, fucking teaching himself random shit to help server out, and he was the resident Aussie. So he had that really good Aussie sense of humor. Where they say the really cool Australian jokes like "fuck you, cunt," and "I'll hook you in the gabber, mate," and "you're a fucking legend." There, I said all of the Aussie jokes. But Epis was really cool, and he was a good admin. And unfortunately, when you're a good admin, there's always going to be people that dislike you. Epis unfortunately grew a little bit of a hate group, is the best way to put it. There was a player by the name of Drink Trippy, and Drink was kind of a shithead. He played the servers, he believed they should be ran in certain ways. He didn't like some of our rules, and, some players didn't like him. He had his own clique. Just, the regular cycle and stuff you have for Jailbreak. You have certain people to come in that everybody likes. You got some people who don't like them. They either get banned or they leave. It's you don't play the same damn server forever. You don't stick with the same community forever on TF2. But Drink Trippy had been acquiring some bans and mutes in the late nights when Epis is on, because he was Australian, so time zone differences. And Drink Trippy had found a couple people who had similar thoughts about Epis. They said that he was too strict or rough, which Epis was kind of, getting himself prepared for uni while learning to code for a random TF2 server. He took on a lot of stress, and being Jailbreak admin sucked. It just sucked. Everybody who is watching this that was one of our Jailbreak admins, fucking comment, tell everybody. Being a Jailbreak admin sucked. There was very little reward into it because everything was stupid. I will stand beside this. Jailbreak was one of the worst fucking game modes ever made. It's fun, but it does not mean it's not one of the worst fucking game modes ever made. But I digress. Epis' hate group started to grow. And somehow, it was like it was overnight, honestly. Razzleberry had joined this hate group and had ended up getting, I shit you not, getting unbanned from the servers. Been long enough, and somehow he managed to get unbanned. Saying he grew and changed as a person. And I think the salt mines had finally ended by that time. So Razzleberry was right back on the servers playing Jailbreak everybody. And he started catching bans from Epis. And it sucked. Because it's like, hey man, look, I get it, man, he's heavy-handed. But I trust what Epis does. I know how Epis bans because me and him talk about our bans. We don't like banning. So, Raspberry ended up catching another ban along with Drink Trippy and a couple other people, and everything went quiet. We're good. It was overnight, and I said, oh, well, sorry, Razzle, I can't do nothing for you, man. You've been bad before. It's probably best for the server and you to have separation. Is what I thought the end of it would be. And then I get a message from Epis that, hey, check out this link. It sends me a link to a Steam community group page. So check it out. And it's got this weird flaming heart picture, and it's called Operation Red Hearts. And I went, okay, what is this? So I start reading through it. Are you tired of the Outpost being ran by a tyrannical dictatorship? Constantly put in the negative connotation of people who get banned from the servers? Do you hate the fact that you're seen as an evil entity just for wanting to have fun? This group is made to expose the lies and corruption of the Outpost admin staff known as Epsilon. I shit you not. They made a fucking Steam group for Epis about exposing him for being an abusive admin. The fuck? But it didn't just stop there, and this is why I started with Razzleberry, because this is where Razzleberry showed those true colors again. The colors that when he shows them, I can't fucking defend him. Razzleberry was the only discussion I saw in the main discussion room. So I messaged Epis back. I was like, what is this? They made a hate group for you? And he's like, nah, read in the discussions. And like I said, Raspberry made a post. Drunk Trippy was the owner of the group. But in that post, I saw plain as day a first name, a last name, an address, a zip code, and a phone number. Now, I've played video games and been on that TF2 server for years with Epis. You could take a guess of, did I recognize that name, phone number, and address? Yeah, it's fucking Epis's. Raspberry doxed Epis. He fucking doxed him. Put his personal information on the internet for everybody to see over jump break. Now, this is ludicrous. I get it. It's fucking ludicrous. So I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? He's like, I don't know what to do. What I'm in Australia, you're in the States. I don't know the rules for doxing. I was like, well, doxing is illegal, regardless. But how we go about this is a great question. So, I did my due diligence and reported, went on the cyber police thing, the FBI, and reported the doxing on the Steam community page to get it taken down. Reported the Steam community page to get it taken down. You know, did my due diligence. I wasn't trying to go outright and get Raspberry. I didn't want to retaliate on him. It's wrong. Shouldn't have did that. But that's all we could do. In the end, nothing happened. The Steam community page disappeared. Epis's personal information disappeared. And I was actually really fucking surprised and glad. I'm glad nothing happened. Nothing happened to Epis, and it went away. Raspberry, however, didn't go away. It's been 10 years since I joined the Outpost. And recently, I jumped back on the Discord servers just to see how everybody was doing, and lo and behold, fucking Raspberry's there. So, yeah. Raspberry has cleaned up his life, he told me. He quit smoking pot, and he just, got himself in, got all his shit together, and, made himself a better human. Which, to be honest, you can't ask for a better ending than that. But yeah, that was Operation Red Hearts. A story where a bunch of people got together to dox an Australian man because of a video game. Now, if that doesn't sound fucking stupid to you, then you got something wrong with you. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, give me a like, drop me a comment, and subscribe.